What's up, everyone? This is Anon. No, this is financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Just guy talking about stocks. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put out all this stuff. Let me get together. Yeah, I don't think it actually hit anything. Oh, what's up, Drake? What's up, Hunter? What's up, Raid? What's up, Jason? Yes. Yeah, I was going to say pretty good, right? Hunter, you and Drake have the same timestamp, but he appears above you on my list. But Earthium, Moon When. I mean, I think I showed some of you guys in the Discord. Those options were really cheap for the 2024, the 150s. I mean, I can't believe they were selling them that cheap. So I snagged a bunch. Hi, brother. I was about to ask you. Gonna live stream in the Discord like 30 seconds ago. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say sorry. I was putting my daughter to sleep, and she had like a million questions for me. So. Yep. All right. Let's see. All right, let's see. Huh. Let's see. All right. Sold my remaining Redbox for GME. Hey, there you go. I was going to say, I mean, GME's held pretty well today. You know, zoom in for you guys so you can see. Let's go to the daily real quick. The only problem I saw, did they gap up or did they fill that gap? I can't even tell. It's so tight there. It looks like they filled the gap, right? If they left the gap, it's tiny. It's hard to tell on this, but yeah, I think they filled it. So that's good. So they didn't leave any gaps there. So that's a good thing. I'm hoping this goes for a nice run. I still have some GME options and some shares, so I would like to see them have a nice little thing and have a nice run up. Put your live link in the Discord. Yeah, so yeah, I might as well. I guess it's fine. All right, we'll put it in the Discord. I was like 10 o'clock. Maybe I should, maybe we should just chill out. But yeah, Reddit's on Bear Parade. ATER and GME trading identical today chart-wise. All right, let's take a look. Let's put ATER up here. Let's put it up on the 1 minute. Let's take a look at GME on the 1 minute. Let's take a look, see what's going on. Let's see. It's interesting how they don't fit it that way. Maybe this one's slightly bigger. Maybe try this. Here, we'll move these over. So does that fit the whole thing? why. They do anything else on here? No. Strange. Oh, I can't fit the whole thing. But yeah, they both did at least this kind of upward movement in the morning and then bled most of the day. Up in the morning, bleed all day. You know what I should do? I should put up Weeble. Weeble might look a little bit more. They rearranged my desktop. Now everything's all jumbled. Every time I reset my computer, it goes back to this default, and then I have to move the icons all around. Alright, I can figure it out. Let's see. Where did it go? There it is. I'm going to move it over here again. Alright, so let's take a look real quick. Okay, to the 1 minute. Let's take a look. Yeah, so up, double top for the morning, then kind of bleed off in the afternoon. And here's what I can tell you is right around here, where we were just like basically even, I noticed that the options on Aterian got super, super cheap. And, you know, like, I mean, we're talking about like, I was able to pick up January 2024 150 calls for like $1.70. Like, that's insane to me. Like, those things are worth $2 off the bat. Like, that much theta. I think it's like 577 days of theta. Like, there's no way that should have been priced that way. But they were brand new, so I don't think they had like a, you know, I was the only one that had bid on them. So, like, instantaneously, those will probably be like up like a good amount. If they're still open tomorrow, you guys might want to take a look at the options chains for those ones that have that much theta. Because, you know, the stock's getting IV crushed right now. So, take a look at that. But let's go back and, yeah, so both of them went up in the morning and then kind of bled off in the afternoon. So, I mean, it's starting to barcode. There's a lot of stuff that's pretty interesting looking. Let's go back to the SPY. All right. I mean, the SPY continued on, so that's... Well, they finished up 2% for the day. Sorry, I got that marshmallow on. Wait. Here we go. All right, let me catch up at where I'm at. So, I put your live link in the Discord. Oh, thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. You know what? I'm not going to add everyone. It's late, right? Or should I? All right. Let's read through. Yeah, so Redbox is not making me feel warm and fuzzy. The reason why, and here's the issue, right? Like, didn't they reinstitute the warrants as well? The warrants are at like 1150, I think. Yeah, I'm with you on that with Redbox. So here's the thing: if they had left those options open, I think this would have squeezed to the moon, like just based off the small float and the amount of retail interest that was there. But as soon as they shut down the options, things have now changed. Because I think they've reintroduced the warrants, if I remember correctly. Let's see. All right, let's see. Yeah, so it looks like Seaport confirmed exercising 1 million warrants on the 17th. And there's still another 10 million, I think. Yeah, there's still another 10 million shares remaining warrants that are at 1150. And I think they got reinstituted, but I have to double check that. But if that's true, then what's going to end up happening is this is just going to, they'll use those warrants to cover FTDs, and they're above the strike price right now on warrants at 1150. So they can be used to basically keep it from going much higher. Because at this point, warrants can be used to basically just lower the price. They may just let it chop around in this range for a while, but I'll see if I can confirm, though, that warrants got reinstituted, but that's what I think I've read on Reddit. So, but once again, I don't like the fact they took away options. That seems very sketchy to me. And I even talked about this. I said, listen, like this could have ran, but at the same time, I think that retail got screwed over again. And the fact was, like, that these guys that, they instituted warrants on this stock, and it was fine until they were going to get squeezed, and then they said, oh, well, no, you guys can't play anymore. So, and then they used the excuse that, oh, well, the exchange made us shut it down. Well, who instituted the shares being able to go into, like, options trading just a month ago? Because Redbox never had warrants, or not warrants, but never had options until like a month ago. And then they piled on and bought a bunch in the money calls, and then next thing you know, they shut down the options when they did that. Yeah. Because the reason why I was against Redbox in the beginning was because they had all those warrants sitting there at 1150. They had like 15 million warrants there, so I was like, it's not going to go any higher than that. Well, when they announced the merger news, then they took it away. I then at that point, I was like, okay, well, game on, I guess. So I played some calls on the upside, made some money, and then once I heard that they were going to shut down, once I realized that they could reinstitute the warrants and the merger was going to go through, and I think it's like a ratio of like 0.687 or something like that, which means that the stock would be worth far, far less. Then I bought puts once I read the merger details. So, like, this is a stock that obviously, as soon as they announce the merger details, it's going to drop like a rock because they'll have a date and a time where they actually can do it. So, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on with Redbox, and unfortunately, I think it's starting to lose momentum, and I think, some people have gotten spooked because they can't buy options anymore, and, I'm not telling people one way or the other. None of this is financial advice. I'm just saying, for me, like, I bought puts on this when I realized they were going through the merger process, and I actually had shorted it at 16. They made me close that position. I actually, for a loss, actually, which would be much more profitable right now than what I have, because I think I had like couple thousand shares short, and they made me close the position for a loss at 17 that day. And then as soon as I was required to sell at 1 p.m. for TD, they dropped the price. Like literally like 20 minutes after 1 o'clock, they like plummeted the price. And I'm like, you guys are, that feels dirty. So, yeah, but this whole deal with this stock, some smells, some stinks on it. Yeah, those 150 calls were steel for Aterian. Yeah, and if they may still be there tomorrow, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what they start out with. But basically, whoever was setting the prices on those, it was silly. And like, I bought one of them, and it went through. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try buying 9 of these now, and that worked too. And then I tried to go down, and it wouldn't work. And then I tried going, and then once I bought, I think I bought another 100 on it, and I was like, this is still working. So I bought like 200, and at that point the price moved up to like 175. So I bought another 100 on that, and then I was able to get the last ones, I think, at like 165 or something like that. I mean, those are super cheap for that much theta. So you guys should take a look tomorrow and just see what it looks like. But man, yeah. Anon's voice sounds super crispy this evening. Am I sounding sultry, guys? How's it going? Talk about the smooth jazz. All right, let's take a look. What do we got going? Did we ever... I didn't actually post them there, did I? I kept saying I was going to do something on YouTube, post the YouTube thing, and I didn't do it. Let me try. Let me do the thing. See if we get a couple more people in here. And then we can kind of go over the rest of the stuff. I know a bunch of people want to talk about Aterian, a bunch of people want to talk about some of the different tickers, so we'll try to do all those. All right. Let's see. Take the link. Yeah, if you can hit the like button, that'd be great. Helps the algorithm. So, what's up, Anon? What's your thought on ATER's margin calls and outlook, the price? Yeah, so here's the deal right now. Like, obviously, Aterian's in a interesting spot because they've increased their shares, right, slightly with the shares outstanding, which means that obviously their SI percentage of the short is, but they still have the same amount of short interest. Short interest numbers have not changed. The percentage has. So they're still very short this stock. And I can pull up for you guys some of the Ortex and the Fintel numbers. We can probably get some of the Bloomberg information too. I'm going to be writing a DD on it as soon as I get done with this project. I'm almost on it. I've been sitting out in the warehouse. It's not been fun. And going through literally scanning in 30 years worth of tax files and all this other stuff. So, all right, here we go. Let me grab this and just say at everyone. Oops. And she put the date. Come hang out and talk stocks with us before bed. All right. Here we go. Oh, Fish, thank you. Appreciate it. We were just taking a look at the Aterian stuff. I just want to see if anything's changed on, if you can pull the S3 stuff, that'd be great. But if not, then, just kind of with the, mean, at this point, I need to get all the information just because I want to compare it against Ortex and all the other stuff. But all right, let's take a look. And all right. So Luke said that he had to sell half his Aterian shares today. Sorry, boys, I'll be back soon enough, though. That's fine. I was just going to say everyone is allowed to do what they want. You know, we've had some other people that have gone through some hard times, and they said they needed to pull, and that's fine. There's going to be other people that are going to buy those shares, hopefully, and we'll just keep going. And at some point, when this runs up again and everyone goes, where did this come from? It's like, well, this is how the stock acts. Like, if you kind of go back in history on this thing, you just have these random runs out of nowhere, right? Like, you'll just have like, oh, yep, we're just going to run up like, 40, 50%. And then, out of nowhere, boom. And I mean, this is more than 40 or 50%. This was from $2 all the way up to 20. So you can see the stock does this. You hit the spring and then it just goes up. So let's take a look. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see more margin calls in the future for all these shorted stocks. I hope for GME they get, the MOAS, because obviously I'm in that too. But would love that to just, that spark off, because, these guys are short multiple. Most of these short hedge funds specialize in shorting, and so when they all kind of go boom, boom, boom. Phone call. What's going on? Do I have a phone call? Let me see. Oh, you're saying check the phone. Okay. Checking my phone. Checking my phone. Let's see if... All right. Oh, you were saying because of margin call. Okay, something about MREO. MREO. Let's take a look. MREO. All right, so let's zoom out. Take a look at the macro on it. Okay, so what is that? About $4. Had been getting pushed down, got into oversold area. Hit. This is probably a Wyckoff spring here. And then it looks like it went parabolic today. Now, the problem with this is it's now getting an overbought territory. The question is, how much more juice does it have behind it? So, because obviously 55 million is a good amount for the day. So, let's take a look at it. Oreo. MREO, right? MREO. All right. Let me take a look real quick and just eyeball a couple tickers for you guys. MREO. So did they have something that happened? I'm guessing so, right? Because obviously you don't have and you've got big gaps here. That's a gap. That's a huge gap. So here's my issue with this, right? You guys have a nice day. You go 30% up, right? Institutions own 68 million, or sorry, 68% of this stock. The float's about 115. It looks like they had some sort of news 19 days ago. Is this a short stock? Is that why it's jumped? They had a cover, and let's take a look. I do have Ortex. I can pull it up. Give me a second. MREO. Okay, so let's take a look. I mean, it's not that shorted. In fact, it's a weird statistic. It's saying that the cost to borrow is 0 because I guess there was no shares borrowed today. Utilization's only 23%. So it must have been some sort of news, right? Was there like a press release that happened? Yeah, so here's my issue, right? So this may have more juice and it may go up a little bit more, but this gap is a pretty large one, which means that that needs to get filled at some point. So like Terminal says 93% ownership on MREO. Yeah, that gap, that's a pretty big gap. I mean, that's sizable. Like, and it's going to take a heavy day of like just getting tanked down to get back and fill that gap. That's what I hate about gapping up is like then you're sitting there wondering like, okay, at what point is the other shoe going to drop and this thing's going to fill that? So MREO Speedwagon, pretty good, guys, pretty good. Keep the jokes coming, right? All right, so to me, I personally, if I was going to go long these guys, I mean, I would probably wait to enter somewhere around the gap fill. If you get it, I mean, that's what he said. That's a pretty sizable gap. All right, let's take a look. I mean, I'm just looking at this. Like, it's saying that cost to borrow is about 6%, so it's and utilization's only 23%. And that's a little bit higher than it was, but like it's still not like a stock that's like GameStop where it's like 100% utilization, all that stuff. All right. Sorry, who here can actually send or tell me why MREO? Here we go. So if Fish is good with this, I'm going to bring this thing over. All right, so we'll take a look. It's about 4 million shares shorted. It's not much of the float, so yeah. Because it's Oreo. It's not MREO, it's just Oreo. Yeah, didn't we establish with that Rev has an ATM going right now? Didn't we cover that yesterday? I'm pretty sure we did. If I remember correctly, yeah, they just issued out an April ATM. So they have the ability to basically raise up $25 million worth of share. Like, they've got, I think, a April shelf of like 75 million shares or something like that. Or 54 million shares or something like that. Yeah. So that's the only thing I'm a little bit worried about for, they've got at least 4 million shares on the ATM right now, and they've got the ability to raise more if they want to. So if Rev starts moving, they may use that money to raise cash. So that's the only thing that's a little bit, worrisome about Rev is they do have an active ATM going, and they can start issuing that into this to slow things down and to raise money, because this is a stock that's been beat up for a while. And so, if I'm going to go here and say, let's take a look. This was obviously the spring, and then you now have a nice move back up into the Ichiko cloud. I mean, you're pretty far down there, and if you figure where's VWAP, I'm sure you're far away from it. So, but yeah, back to this one. I need to know why they moved up. Does anyone know why that went up? Like, why did MREO move? Healthcare stocks moving up, down. Breaking news. Oh, it's from it's a potential buyout from AstraZeneca, right? Yeah, that's why they're raising up. And okay, that makes more sense. I was like, there's got to be some reason. Like the short interest isn't there. Like there's got to be some reason this thing just popped up. As long as that happens, if AstraZeneca confirms this buyout, then it may face stiff competition from its other partners who would be interested in making acquisition offers. They've got a partnership with Ultragenyx. All right. On May 23rd, they were notified by NASDAQ that they were risking being delisted after failing to maintain its minimum price over $1 for 30 business days. The exchange has requested that they comply by November 21st, but by then they'll probably get bought out. So, yeah. But I mean, they could be acquired by another large, company too. So. Revlon said in a statement it's lined up $575 million of so-called debtor in possession of financing from existing lenders to fund itself during bankruptcy. Okay. Well, I mean, let's take a look at their balance sheet real quick, because that's going to obviously, how much do they have on liability side, because that's going to matter. You know what I didn't do? I didn't tweet out that we were streaming. I'm really bad at this. I should have somebody help me. All right. Let's see. No, we won't do it. If I don't do it one night, that's fine. What were the other tickers you guys wanted me to look at? Revlon, right? So let's pull up Revlon real quick and just see. Revlon 13Q or 10Q. 10Q, that's what you want. That's weird. I wasn't expecting it to go to the Revlon page. It said SEC filing, and I thought I was going to the SEC page, but instead it was Revlon's, because I saw a lipstick pop up, so it freaked me out. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Okay. All right, let's take a look at some of their last filings. So, this was, what update is this? Let's take a look. So this is what honestly, this is how you have to go through stocks. Like, if you're going to be looking at them, like, you're going to need to, like, do your homework. So if you want to, like, look at, for example, let's see, what's this one all about? Okay, this is their bankruptcy filing, right? Chapter 11 filing. Debtor in possession financing. So here's the thing, right? And this is what I want you guys to take away from this. It's super important that you don't just trust what people on Reddit or anywhere, Twitter or whatever, are saying. You need to go to look at the filings for yourself. And I know they're difficult because they're written in legalese, but like, you should attempt to get used to reading this stuff, because if you're going to be trading stocks, you can't just say, oh, well, Anon told me this, and so it must be true. Like, do the work yourself. Like, double check what people are telling you, because they could say, yeah, well, the debtors are all going to forgive the debt and everything's great. And that may not be what's true, because they could misinterpret what's being said here too. So just be careful. Like, do the homework for yourself. Like, it sucks. I hate reading the stuff. It's not fun, but like, you kind of have to do it, especially if you're going to put your own hard-earned money onto a stock. Like, you need to at least make sure that you understand what's going on here. And like, I've never read this thing before, because this is not a stock that I've been playing. So like, let's see. And I'll be honest with you, I'll probably read this tomorrow at work in like more detail, but for right now, I'm just trying to see. Chapter 11 isn't closing the company. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. You can file for Chapter 11 and then you get, saved, and you can reestablish your credit. It's just there's a lot of different things that can happen from this. But my question is, what exactly do they have? Let's see. So these are non-cash current assets. I'm guessing these are millions. Yeah, millions. So you have accounts payable, accrued expenses, and other. Right? Okay, so this is May preliminary. So this is grown. So they have a deficit of... I'm just reading. All right, so working capital should be 205 as of May. / deficit. Okay. Let's see. So they're right now filing voluntary petitions for reorganization under Chapter 11. Right? So they're going to reorganize under Chapter 11. This will allow Revlon to strategically reorganize legacy capital structure and improve its long-term outlook, especially amid liquidity constraints brought on by continued global challenges, including supply chain disruptions, rising inflation, as well as obligation to its lenders. So we probably need to look at the lending and the liabilities. But upon receipt of this court approval, the company expects to receive $575 million in debtor in possession, so DIP financing, from its existing lender base. In addition to its working capital facility, it will provide to support day-to-day operations. The strong support of the company's lenders will help the business manage through the current macroeconomic challenges and in turn enable it to better serve its customers. Yeah, they can restructure. So what dummy lends to a company that just filed for bankruptcy? I also need a loan. Yeah. You're only a cool kid once you've read Chapter 11. All right, so this filing will allow our consumers the kind of products delivered, blah, 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 blah. Where's the good stuff? All right, so here we go. I know this is like... All right, let's see if you guys can see that. So, what we're looking at now is company EBITDA, which is earning before, was it interest, taxation, I'm having a brain fart. I can't see it bigger. Here. See if this works. Can you see that now? It's not like a really high quality. It's pretty kind of broken up, but depreciation, it's depreciation, right? And what's the A? Earnings before interest, taxation, or taxes, depreciation, and amortization. That's the one. Yeah, the company sucks because the quality of the PDF. Maybe they wanted to hide the numbers. Okay. So baseline cash flows. They have negative cash flow, so that's obviously not great, which is why they're going through this Chapter 11. So it looks like they're hoping to be done and at least better off by October. But they're still in some trouble. But, I mean, this will help, obviously. But my guess is they're probably attempting to pump the stock so they can raise cash through the ATM, because they need cash really badly. Let's see, beginning cash roll forward, they'll get 61 million, 85 million across those, and then cash, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably have to go through it at work and just really dive deep into this, but I mean, are they still anticipating? No. Yep. Hey, how's it going, Becca? ATM at the money, the debit card that you get in the mail that works for a short period of time. Well, yeah, kind of. I know that's a joke that you used the other day, but basically, just so people know, ATMs are basically at the money offerings. So it means that this company will literally issue shares out on the market at a specific price, and what it does is it actually it acts as dilution as well. So what happens is typically when the stock price is running aggressively up, they can issue an ATM into that buying pressure, and so it kind of like treads water for a while unless they issue out more and more and more of it. And so once they do that, then obviously the float changes, everything changes. So you usually get a lot less pressure and it drops the stock price. So Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through this because this is a lot of stuff to actually go through all at once. Um, so tell me why you guys love the stock, because obviously it's moving. That's always a good thing. But let's see, we didn't gap up, right? No gaps are there. That's good. Question is, because I mean, it had been basically a falling knife. You hit its top up here. What is that? Like 17, 18 a share. But they need cash really, really badly. And the fact that they have an active and open ATM makes me nervous that at some point they're going to issue that into it. So, I mean, you clearly had this thing right here, right? And then it just was a falling knife up until recently. You hit the spring, and now you're moving up. But you guys need, yeah, Revlon needs cash really bad. And the fact that they have an ATM means that, to me at least, they're going to let this run hot for a while, and then they're going to issue those shares out into it. So, can it move? Yeah, it can move. Like, it can move up pretty aggressively, but at some point when they start issuing out those shares, it will slow down. So, all right, let's see. What's up, AKJ? What's up, HD Trading? What's up, brother? Becca's in the house, telling ghost stories. All right, let's see what else is going on here. It reminds me of the stories of the wolf and the pigs, not a hair on the chin. 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 I start these at work. I will finish it when I get home. Have a good day. All right, thanks, Chin. Yep. Oh, okay. Somebody wanted to know about ADN. Okay, so another one. Look at that. Look at the gapped up. I don't like these gaps, guys. So they said that they are cash on hand project in Greece, possible projects coming. But you left a nice big gap in between. And I mean, it jumped up like a full dollar. But, you know, this is a significant gap to fill. Does it do it now? Does it do it later? Who knows? But is this today on the SPY? So it was pushing down in the after hours. That's interesting to look at. All right. ADN has 1150 warrants as well. Okay. So ADN's got warrants. Yep, so it looks like they've got at least 26 million in warrants at 1150. So, I mean, they may be trying to push that stock price up to that level, because that's how they get their money out. And those guys are allowed to pump those things up. The underwriters are allowed to pump those things up. So, at some point, you could see that, but it's a good amount of dilution. 26 million shares. They already have the small float right now, but you'll be up to like 60 million roughly. So, let's see. Me keyboard is brokish. Spill beer on my keys, no work. Backspace doesn't work either. Just go forward, man. Just go forward, goat. Don't like Rev. Too scary for me. Yeah, I mean, it will probably move. It's probably going to be like a Redbox where it moves up some and then, you know. And on ATER, do you think the predictability of the daily price action is preventing it from moving up due to the day trader's paradise? Yeah, I mean, So I think right now, Aterian's going to be in like kind of a limbo, because there's nothing new that we're hearing. Like unless the company announces something, nothing's new. Like so we're just going to probably chop around for a while. You know, you had that run up. We've been going down. We've been testing these lower levels. But every time it heads down there, it gets pushed back up because people buy shares down there. And that's not what they really want because they don't want people sticking around the stock. They want to shake people out. So Amazon deliver new keyboards tomorrow. All right. So, sorry, Goat. Hopefully I didn't make you spill your beer. Hopefully you got a cool one. So my back itches. I have a wrench next to me. There we go. That works. Oh, yeah. It's a little too sharp, but okay. So, ADN's got warrants up there. So that could be one they pump up to those warrant levels. The underwriters are going to try that. I don't like that gap, though. Do they pump it all the way up and then let it fill on the backside? Who knows? But those ones make me nervous when you have a gap like that because it's like, okay, when's this thing gonna fill? Could it be tomorrow? Could it be 2 weeks from now? Who knows? But that's just my thought on that. Goat. How is that spelled? Laptop keyboards. Poor Goat. Poor Goat. He's got his laptop all, or his keyboard all messed up. All right. How are we doing on time? It's about 11. It's about my bedtime, but I don't ever actually go to bed at 11. I usually go upstairs and then ADN 85 shorted due to my wrinkly brain calculations. Yeah, but it gapped up pretty decently. So, Trade Titan, what's up, dude? Everyone, what's up, man? Or woman, who knows? Maybe you're a female Trade Titan, or maybe you're a dude. Don't know. All right, you want to take a look at ADN? I see institutions own roughly about 26% of the stock. Looks like BlackRock's got about 3.4%. There's a BNP Paribas Asset Management, State Street, Vanguard, GeoCapital. I see ATER gapping up closer to the warrant dates in September. I mean, Aterian will move again. If you just look at its history, it will move again. It's inevitable. Terminal says 90%. Terminal says ADN is 90% short. All right, let's take a look at the other ones too. So we're looking at ADN. Okay, ADN. I do see a very large cost to borrow. I've got like roughly that cost to borrow is high, or at least it's risen quite a bit. 16. See, they're only showing 16% on Ortex, so okay, it's not short. It's 90% owned by institutions. Okay, gotcha. That makes more sense because I was going to say I don't see that on the short interest at all. And they're still borrowing shares, but like that's a pretty sizable gap up. So go tell Trade Titan he's wrong, dude. I see ATER gapping out closer to warranties. Yeah, that's what Trade Titan had written. All right, let's see. We're all over the place tonight. Trade Titan, I don't know if you caught this, but Goat's got a messed up keyboard, so he keeps typing and it comes out funny. So, all right, so we could take a look at this one. I mean, 90% institutional ownership. It's got 100% utilization. The cost to borrow has risen. Still only 16% shorted, but you know. But if I'm looking at this, I'm worried about that big gap that was left because I do think at some point when the volume dies down a little bit, you're going to see a probably increase on the chances of that filling that gap at some point. So, all right. Not sure if this was covered, but what's your opinion on GMVD? Someone asked about that yesterday, I think. GMVD. Yeah, so how'd they do today? Because I think we were talking about that yesterday. I said they're probably going to try to push it up to $1 at least. All right, let's take a look. All right. Also, high cost to borrow, 100% utilization. It says that they closed some short positions today. All right. It says not a big portion of the free float, though. So I'm just eyeballing this because this, I think we talked about it yesterday slightly, but huh. I mean, the short interest is not a ton. Is this like a micro float? Is that why this is? I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's a penny stock, obviously, but let's take a look. Because like the current SI right now is only 100,000 shares, so that's not very much. Like shares on loan right now is like 1 million. What's it say the free float is? Free float is 18 million. All right, so it appeared there was naked shorting, even the short interest was stupid low, and it bottomed out recently. I mean, I guess the question is why? So let's take a look. Why is it down here? So what I'm seeing at least is apparently the real float is 6 million. It transferred recently to Nasdaq from an Australian exchange, and the shares are locked up. Just thought it was interesting with the movement today. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it hit a low here. It was already oversold. I mean, any one of these could have been the one that bounced, but it was this one right here, and they had some buying pressure, and then, I mean, it looks bullish from the chart. So, I mean, it's probably got room to run, in my opinion. Um, it's not quite overbought, but at this point you can see it's starting to move up pretty significantly. Now, I'd like some follow through to make sure it's following that trend, but yeah, that could work. Like this could be, it could move, but it's a matter of, okay, well, let me see if there's any other. Yeah, maybe they're probably going to try to pump it to those warrants at some point. It's just a matter of when. So, could be a while though. So it may chop around a lot more than you think. All right. I'm starting to get tired. Okay, it says Vortex has been at 100%, but Bloomberg's reporting Aterian's, yeah. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm like starting to forget words. I'm like, the thing of a bobber. All right, so you guys are gonna walk Goat how to get his hair dryer out and fix his keyboard. All right, yeah, I'm getting tired, guys. I'm gonna end up going to bed. So, but yeah, I mean, be careful of the ones that have gaps, and this one looks decent. And then the only other one that I think we needed to talk about was the Vesta or whatever one. So this one's a weird one. This is another one of those, and this is for Fish. Our buddy Fish wrote some DD on this, but look at this. Look at today. It's just a weird day. So I think that was me. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's me. Let's see if I get a 15 minutes. There we go. Yeah, so see how there's no volume here? There was literally no volume. The volume was 0. I bought 100 shares and it brought the stock up 3%. It was really, really weird. Yeah, I whaled 3% on 100 shares. There were 6,000 shares traded today. And I think I have 600 of them. Of that volume. Just strange. Because this is one's reporting a really high amount of, institutional interest. So the stock's very illiquid. So, it's not surprising, but I couldn't get a fill at I was trying to get a fill at 476 or something like that, and I couldn't get a fill there. And I was trying to get a fill at like 480s, couldn't get a fill. I had to bring it all the way up to basically $5 to get fills. So you have to be patient on some of these, right? So, all right, guys. You guys take it easy. Fish, we'll go over, because I think we kind of covered. It's just there's no volume on it, so it's hard to like get a sense of what's going on with this thing because it's so choppy and illiquid. Like the bid ask is like 8 cents or more sometimes. It's like whew. So, all right, you guys have a wonderful evening. If you're not part of the Discord, please join it. It's free. We'll go ahead and invite people. All right, here you go. All right. Well, you guys take it easy. Everyone have a great evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have a little more time tomorrow, and I'll get some work done on the Discord and everything else, and also Aterian, DD, and all that jazz. Because I do need to finish up with that. All right, guys. Take it easy tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow.